Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bob Waldron and this is the 1st of April 2016 Genesis Models show. So we've now entered into April and as of today we are open. I've decided to open the shop today, 1st of April 2016. So, you know, if you want to come down, you can come down. We are open and we're open 9:30 till 14:45 every weekday, and then we are open. Our main day is going to be Saturday and we're open 10:30 till 6 p.m. And sadly we're closed on Sunday. You know, I've got to have a day off at least once. But yeah, if you want to come in, we've got a walk-in policy. Just walk in and, you know, just do whatever you want basically. You know, I'll be here at hand to help you with any kind of, I don't know, maybe you need a bit of tutorage on a certain subject. I'll be here, and I've decided to just, you know, do all that stuff for free anyway. So, you know, come in. There's some scale modeling tables for you to do whatever scale modeling you're doing. Bring your own kits in. You can buy your kits here if you want to and start building them here. And as I say, I'm here to help you along where need be. There is some toolkits that you can sort of rent out for the day if you like. I'm only charging £1 just to rent them out, and that's not to make a profit. That's just to sort of keep, you know, the tools topped up, i.e. Tamex and cement and all the stuff that you get in the toolboxes, and basically the basic kit you need to sort of build a model. We haven't got the spraying facilities up and running yet because basically it is quite costly. I want to see how this sort of takes off first, but it doesn't mean you can't do any spraying. It just means that if you want to do some spraying, you know, bring your own kit, i.e. airbrush, compressor, that sort of thing. If you're really sort of stuck on some airbrushing, I might even let you sit in the big chair and you can use my kit if need be. There is the wargaming room. If you want to war game, again, you know, bring a friend, have a war game, or you can see if you can take me on if you want. There is a bit of a shop. You know, you can buy kits here if you so wish, and again, you know, this is, we've only just sort of opened up, so you know, how the shop sort of grows and progresses depends on you guys. It depends on who walks in the door. You know, we're going to be seeing lots of scale modelers. You know, do we get rid of the wargaming room of playing war games, and or, you know, maybe you want to see more of a shop being built up. You know, we can sort of transform and grow how you guys want us to transform and grow. So yeah, we're open. You know, so come on down and check us out. What's up next? We have the X47. I have actually finished that, which is rather cool. So I've got a little bit of footage in advance for me to work on some other things. But yeah, that's finished. So let's just take a look now of what sorts come footage-wise for our X47B. Let's just bring you in. Is just simply paint this along the edge, right? Nothing fancy. No need to be all accurate. The only accuracy really you want here is to just not go past this line. Remember, this line here, we keep that nice and clean to sort of represent that the dirt is coming from the flap area and not somewhere up here, right? So keeping that nice straight line is what you want. And as you can see, I've done this side of it here as well, which I've done my streaks a little bit sort of less in your face, right? So as I say, I was just making my streaks a little bit more just here, just to show you for the camera. But yeah, we just want to get a little bit of that down. It does look a mess, but there is another stage to it. And we just need to let that just nicely sort of dry a little bit, maybe give it like 20 minutes just to dry, and we should be all good. And I've left this side nice and clean so we can sort of compare both sides with being sort of nice and clean and one being all sort of weathered up as well. So you can sort of see the difference, because this bit of a brown blue wash we're doing here by AK Interactive, it's just a nice subtle effect that gives it a bit of a tinge of a dirty sort of blue, and I think it would be nice for you to see the comparison there. So now that's had a bit of time to dry, what we're going to do, we're going to come back again with Odorless Thinners by AK Interactive. I'm coming back in with my flat brush as well. Again, you know, with this as always, you know, kitchen paper towel to one side and just get rid of so that's a little clip of the X47B, which I do believe the last episode will be next week, so hopefully look forward to that last episode there. Next up we have, as you can see here, is March 2016's competition prize, which was for a Tornado GR4 148 Scar by Revell. Absolutely cracking kit, absolutely love this aircraft, and I really want to build it at some point. Don't know when, but I'm going to be building it at some point. But anyway, after doing the usual random number generation program, counting down the thread, we came to Toki. So congratulations to you, Toki. You are the winner of our Tornado GR4 by Revell. So I'll give you an email, get your shipping address, and I'll ship this out to you free of charge. Now obviously if you didn't win, we have April's competition, which will be announced later on in the show, but until then, next up in the show, we're going to have a look at our kit release news for the past couple of weeks. Welcome to the kit release news here at Genessis-Models for the past couple of weeks. So to start off, we have Trumpeter with a 1/32 scale Junker JU87D Stuka, and that is at £52.99. They also release a Gloucester Meteor F8 by Airfix 148 scale at a price of £32.99. Dragon release a M48A1 Smart Kit 135th scale at £44.99. A Russian Su-76M self-propelled gun is launched by Tamiya in 135th scale at £31.50. Dragon releases a Russian T-34/85 model 1944. That is in 135th scale and at £49.99. Dragon also releases some crew here with a Panzer IV Tiger Tank Crew Normandy 1944 135th scale at £10.99. And also another tank crew, World War II German tank crew by Dragon is released 135th scale at £10.99. Dragon also releases some more crew, which is the US Army Support Weapons Team 135th scale at £16.99. And that is it for our kit release news here at Genessis-Models for the past couple of weeks. So that is our kit release news for the past couple of weeks. Up next, just to jump straight into it, we have a new tooling by Airfix, brand new release for March 2016 of their Junker JU87 Stuka 1/72 scale by Airfix. Again, brand spanking new tool. So let's take a look at this. Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name is Bobby Waldron, and in this video we're going to be having an inbox review of a kit from Airfix, which is in 1/72 scale, and it is of the Junkers JU87B1 Stuka. Really cool aircraft from World War II. Really cool artwork as usual from Airfix. Just around the sides we do have, like, it does show you a couple of pictures of an unpainted finished version of our Stuka here. You will notice it does say right in the corner here cartograph decals, so we know we've got the best decals in the world in this kit. We do have also two different marking options as well, for the Luftwaffe and for some a Spanish Stuka. So open up the box. We'll start off with our first couple of sprues here, which what we have our first sprue here. All our sprues are all grey sprues. There is 4 sprues altogether and 1 clear sprue. You know, typical Airfix type plastic. Now our surface detail, I'll just bring you in even closer. Our surface detail is very typical Airfix surface detail. As you can see, we've got really crisp, really sharp, really good recessed panel lines. They are, as always, a little bit out of scale, maybe a bit too big, but still looking good, but also lacking rivets, which is, as I say, very typical of Airfix. We have an array of weapons along here as well, which is rather cool, well detailed as well. We do have a fair bit of flash as well going around our seats. We do have a seat belt as well, just on this seat, which is rather nice. Again, you might be able to see bits of flash here and there. Working our way around, we have instrument display panel. As you can see, no detail on there, which is, you know, I thought Airfix had stopped doing all that no detail business, but there you go, no detail on there. We have some sort of internal detail, which I do believe is like the bottom of the cockpit area. Recessed panel lines in there, you know, not looking too bad at all. Our next screw, we have again another wing section, the top of the wing section, which you know, strangely enough, you know, this kit is showing quite a bit of flash actually, and it's supposed to be a brand spanking new mold, you know, brand new for 2016, like March I think it was released. You know, and I'm even feeling just where the recessed panel lines, that there's a bit of flash actually coming up and out of the recessed panel lines, which is not what you want to see from a brand new kit. Even our wheels here, hopefully you've just seen, you know, there's quite a bit of flash sort of coming off our wheels there, and then it gets really sort of bad over here, you know, lots of flash, which is rather disappointing actually. I was quite looking forward to this kit, but there you go. Then we've got some more wheels at the back here, you know, details not looking too bad. Moving along, we have some engine cowl sections here, which, you know, the detail, surface detail on this is actually not looking too bad. We've got rivets and recessed panel lines, you know, looking good. An air intake just here, you know, not bad detail going on there. Our propeller, again, I don't know if you've seen it, but we've got flash coming off the propeller as well. Our exhausts, actually look rather finely detailed. They do go quite deep into those holes there, which is going to be good for our exhaust there, so that's rather good. And then we move to the cockpit section, the fuselage section. Again, you know, we've got the same sort of level of surface detail going on all over there. There's a lot of nice recessed panel lines, one or two rivets, like literally I could probably count them, 4 rivets on either one. Pilots, actually the pilots do look, you know, rather well detailed in there. It looks like they've both got the same sort of pose, but they do look well detailed nevertheless. Then we have this sort of bottom section of our fuselage section, same surface detail. We've got some detail, some wires in there, that's not looking too bad at all. We've got our flaps here at the back, you know, lots of sort of small little pieces coming off this, a little bit of flash on there as well, but yeah, not looking too bad. Oh, we've got some internal detail here, which we've got lots of little bits of detail, raised bits, buttons, dials, that sort of thing. We've got a big whopping ejector pin mark just in this little square here, but the way that's positioned, that can be easily filled in and then sanded away, so I'm not too worried about that one. That's the only sort of bad ejector pin mark I've seen, and as I say, it's not too bad. Then we're looking at some of our decals, again by cartograph, so we know they're going to be, you know, some of the best decals in the world. They look, the colours look great, it looks nicely in registry, no problems there. It's got like a nice matte finish to it, as you can see, looks fantastic. Then we have our instrument display panel just here, and as you saw on the axle sprues, there's no detail on the instrument display panel. You're relying solely on these decals, which is a shame, but there you go, you've got some sort of detail anyway. The instructions, we'll have a quick look at our instructions. As typical Airfix, you do get that little bit of an explanation. Let's just bring you in on the top cam a bit closer. As you can see, you know, get that bit of an explanation on the aircraft. And moving along, we do have this sort of bottom of the fuselage half section going on here where we put our cockpit detail in, which doesn't seem too bad. But then as we sort of go through, it does seem like they're sort of overcomplicated, because normally, you know, World War II fighters is like two fuselage halves come together, the wing sections come together, two halves, and then you bring the wing section and fuselage halves together. You know, it is pretty sort of simple. But with this one, we have this sort of bottom of the fuselage section, which then you get the top part of the wing section, glue that onto that, and then it wants you to then come along and then glue in the bottom half of the wing section onto that. You know, what's going on there? It's a little bit different. Does this mean there's going to be some fit issues? Possibly, you know, because the more they complicate things, it's more of a fit issue problem, possibly. I've not fitted this together, so I'm not saying it's going to be, but we then do have this engine cowl section here, which, again, they're overcomplicating it, because what we've got here is, instead of like the two fuselage halves coming together and that's it, what we've got is we've got two engine cowl halves coming together, then we've got the top part of the engine cowl coming on top of that, and then that turns into one piece, which then you then slot that into the fuselage half. So, you know, again, the fit could actually be absolutely perfect and it's no problems, but the more you sort of go off and complicate it and just kind of fit all these different pieces together, the more join lines you've got, the more potential you've got to be like filling, sanding, scribing and sorting all that kind of stuff out, which, if we had an actual engine in the kit, all that there wouldn't be a big deal, but we don't have an engine in the kit. It's like a lot of work for no point, but you know, again, it might just fit together perfectly, so it might not be such a big deal. You do have all your flaps and slats and everything, which is quite cool. I don't think you can actually move them. I didn't see anywhere that you could actually move them in a specific position or anything. Nice array of weapons and choices there for weapons. And then, of course, you know, you can have your canopies in the open or closed positions. And then we also have a splinter camo pattern for the Luftwaffe and a splinter camo pattern for for the Spanish Air Force. So there's the instructions, and they were sort of a sort of normal map kind of quality, typical Airfix kind of instructions with a bit of colour in there to help you along. And then we come to the last bit, which is the disappointing part of this kit, and that is our canopy section. Now, I don't know how well you're going to see this on camera. I'm probably thinking you might pick it up quite easily because it is quite bad, but we do have like a lot of it's sort of like, they look like it's been really sort of scratched in the box. We've got another piece here. I don't know why you're going to see that, but look at all them sort of scratches going on with this piece here. Absolutely terrible, actually. Not looking good whatsoever, especially on this piece here. The front cockpit section, I don't think you're picking that up on camera, but this is rather sort of, it looks like there's lots of little cracks going on in there. Again, I'm not sure you're picking it up on camera, but it is rather bad. And generally, the cockpits are looking like it's very sort of a Ripley effect going on throughout the whole cockpit area. We've got little bits of, again, I don't think you're going to pick it up on camera, but we have got all this sort of, it's sort of like got cobweb effects. It looks like there's lots of cracks in there. It looks like it's very sort of rough. It's not going to look that good. And looking at it as well, it doesn't look like it's something that we can just come along and just sand out. It looks like it's those kind of cobweb type effects as well, where it sort of goes right down to the core of the plastic, so you can't sand them out. So it is rather a disappointment. So all in all, I think the kit is slightly a bit of a disappointing kit, and it's a kit I wouldn't potentially recommend. Although it is a brand spanking new tool, it could go together absolutely perfect, but it is Airfix, so it's, you know, they do fit rather well these days, Airfix does, but there's still that potential of there being like a fit issue here and there. But the fact of there's so much flash, which is a bit disappointing, but not really a big problem. Ejector pin marks are virtually non-existent in bad places. But yeah, that canopy really does sort of put it off for me, because the problem is with modelling, I mean, you can have loads and loads of problems with a kit, and there's always going to be a way of fixing them. But when it comes to canopies, it's one thing that manufacturers really do need to make sure they're on the ball about, because there's not much you can do to fix a canopy. Really, to get these looking really good, I mean, really, you kind of got to go off and make your own sort of vacuum foam canopies from these as like an original, or go out and buy some aftermarket like vacuum foam canopies to be able to fix this problem. You know, so it really is, as I say, something that manufacturers really need to make sure they're on the ball about, because it isn't something that you can easily fix. However, I mean, someone who's a beginner coming to the hobby might not be too bothered about these canopies, but I'm pretty sure that you sort of advanced guys out there won't be too happy with these canopies, and you'd want to sort of get rid of all this the scratches that, well, they look like scratches, but they're more sort of almost looks like a crack type thing going on there. So it is rather a disappointing problem for the kit. Personally, I would be looking for other manufacturers of a Stuka 1/72 scale if I really wanted to build a Stuka, or even be looking at 1/48 scale or 1/32 scale, just to find an alternative Stuka out there. Personally, as I say, you know, for those of you who are beginners, you might not find those canopies too much of a problem. The price of this kit is really nice. It is only about £11.99, so it's not that expensive either. But apart from that, I mean, yeah, it's not too bad, but not really recommended for all you advanced modelers out there. So hopefully this video has been beneficial to you, of whether you want to sort of go out and buy this or not, or whether it's your cup of tea or not. So yeah, until next time, my name's Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed this inbox review. As you just saw, a product inbox review of the Stuka, which less said about that, the better, to be honest. But anyway, now we're going to announce April 2016's competition here at Genesis Models. So the competition is going to be for, actually, it's an Airfix kit, and it's a decent Airfix kit, which is the Bolton Pull Defiant Mark 1 by Airfix. 1/48 scale. Absolutely love this kit, and again, I'd love to build this one as well. You might be seeing it actually, because you know, our next step by step is going to be World War II aircraft, so you might be seeing this. I might put that to a vote anyway. But anyway, yeah, back to the competition, for April's competition. To be in it to win it, as always, go to Genesis Models forum. In the competition section, you'll see a thread with April competition 2016. Just post "count me in" or something to that effect, and you're simply entered. Remember, no double posting. If you do double post and you do actually win, you'll just be automatically disqualified, which has happened before in the past. But again, you know, I'll do the announcement. The first show in May it will be. I'll announce that, so get in on that on the Genesis Models forum. Next up, we've got some more product reviews, which I have, I'll show them one after the other. We've got a nice AK Interactive learning series here, tracks and wheels. Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bobby Waldron, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at AK Interactive's learning series, and we're going to be taking a look at their book number 3, which is Tracks and Wheels. This book costs about €9.95, which is, I don't know, maybe about £8 or something UK, so actually rather a cheap-ish book, but you do get a lot for your money. So let's take a look inside. Now, as you can see, We've got a nice, good glossy front, good quality paper, and you know, looking really cool. Inside, if we just have a little sort of skip through this, just to give you an idea, it's all about obviously what the title says, tracks and wheels. So you know, it goes into actually more advanced steps in actually building your wheels and making them look rough, dirty, used, and all sorts of sort of weathering that you can put onto it without even sort of doing any of your fancy weathering techniques, you know, using all sorts of sponges, files, and all this kind of cool stuff. So you know, it does give you a lot in that sense as well. And then we have, you know, the spraying of things, the weathering of the wheels, using basic techniques like simply pigments and water. Very basic but very effective. Going up into more advanced stuff like using thick mud, snow, all sorts of weathering washes and everything. You know, as you can see as well, everything is just laid out very, very well. You know, you've got good quality pictures, you can see what's going on, it's illustrated nicely, and each picture has its own little paragraph explaining exactly what's going on. You've got all sorts as well, chipping, you know, anything to do with weathering up a wheel, it is there. As well as, it's not just coming along and showing you this is how, say, I do it and that's that. It's sort of like, here is how you can do it as well as this in different ways, because there are lots of ways to do one thing and achieve that goal, and it depends on the modeler whether you kind of go down that route of, say, just maybe using pigments or water, or maybe you want to sort of actually use enamel paints or stuff like that. It's showing you the different ways to achieve the same effect, right? And as you can see, you know, it even goes into rusting and damaged wheels and achieving that as well. Now that takes up about half the book, and then obviously we start to then move into tracks, which is showing you again how to build the tracks, same format as we've got with the wheels, building the tracks and all the tips and tricks. Lovely ways of sort of getting these rubber pads looking really sort of used and everything. Really cool techniques there. And you know, it goes into again all those different techniques, all those different weathering techniques to get your tracks looking like proper tracks, whether you want them to be dusty in different climates, really muddy European or dusty deserts. You know, it's all in here, right? And I think that's probably enough sort of showing you. I mean, there's a nice bit at the back which sort of really showcases some really absolutely stunning models, as you can see there. But there you go, that is the book. I mean, although it's tracks and wheels, which might kind of just see, well, it's just tracks and wheels, but actually, you know, for less than £10, you've got everything you need to know about tracks and wheels, and a lot of the techniques in here you can use for all sorts of other areas as well. It doesn't have to just be applied to wheels and tracks. You can apply it all over the model using those sort of same techniques. And because it's a series of learning guides by AK Interactive, as I say, they've got natural metal finishes, I think they've got wood effects as well, and there's another one I've totally forgot what it was, but you know, you go to the website and there's about 5, I think there's like 5 of these in the learning series, and I'm still adding to it, and it really does, it's kind of good, because I mean, when you buy books, they sort of like do the whole broad range of modeling, which is good, but what I like about these learning series is it's focusing in on a particular area and really sort of going to town on that particular area, which is quite cool, because if you are having problems with tracks, this is a book for you. I mean, personally, I was a bit sort of about doing tracks, you know, and this is a fantastic book to sort of really, you know, get you professionally doing tracks and wheels. So there you go. I would highly recommend this book, definitely for, you know, less than £10. Everything you need to know, and you know, as I say, you can use it in other places of modelling, not just wheels and tracks. So yeah, definitely a well recommended product here at Genesis Models. So until next time, my name is Bobby Walgent, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed this product review. So there's a bunch of books there by AK Interactive. Hopefully you will enjoy them. Sadly we're coming to the end of the show, but just to finish off, next week I will be releasing the final episode of the X47B. So that will be all done and dusted. And also I'll be getting at the HMS Victory and working on that next week. So hopefully there'll be a nice couple of episodes there of X47B and HMS Victory, which then the plan is after HMS Victory. I did mention this last time, but I've got a couple of kits down there which I'm going to be doing a bunch of tutorials on AK Interactive products. So there'll be a nice a series there doing tutorial based videos on AK Interactive products, and then we'll start the next step by step, which as voted by you guys is going to be a World War II aircraft. And I'm going to sort of pick out a bunch of kits, and I'll probably get you guys to vote on which kit it is I'm going to be building. But there's going to be around about 6 tutorials for this sort of AK Interactive tutorial product sort of build going on. So you know, that's probably going to be a month, maybe a month's worth of footage. So plenty of time to get around to doing some voting on that. But yeah, you know, sadly this is the end of the show. Hopefully you'll be coming into the workshop and maybe say hello, do some building with me or something like that. So yeah, hopefully to see you soon. So until next time, my name is Bob Baldwin, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.